What's up, y'all? Shoebooty Sports coming at you Tuesday night, a little later than usual. It's all the same to you all. This is your host, Graham Powell, co-host Bradley Brown. Say what's up, Brad.
Howdy ho, neighbor.
Guess what? It's Razorback basketball night. That's why we are podcasting from our couches. So, Hogs looking good in this one. We'll catch up on that here in a bit. But first, shout out to our sponsor, Rhino Races. Shoebooty Sports is presented by Rhino Races. Rhino Races is a virtual race series that offers 5 different races: a 5K, a 10K, a half marathon, and the Rhino Ultra. Sign up for one or all 5 of their races at rhinoraces.com. Run your race at your convenience. Track your weight, track your race with your fitness app of choice. After your race is completed, screenshot those results as proof of completion. Submit them to rhinoraces.com under the submit results section. Once your results are verified by Rhino Races staff, you will receive your award by mail. Also, check out their gear section there at rhinoraces.com. They have t-shirts, wristbands, decals, and more. Again, rhinoraces.com. Rhino Races is the premier virtual running series. Also, you can find us, you can listen to us, watch us on Spotify and YouTube. Check us out on also Apple and Google Podcasts, the Wisdom app. Subscribe to the YouTube channel while you're at it. It helps us out a lot. And find us on Twitter at Shoebooty Sports. So, Arkansas looking good.
Yeah, looking
Yeah.
real good. But
Second half, what we're watching 53-29 Hogs, a Jordan Walsh sighting. I didn't see him any in the first half, but he's looked good so far out there tonight. And how about Nick Smith? This is the guy we were expecting to get. We didn't get him till late February, but I mean, late February is better than not at all, which I was under the impression that's how it was going to be, just based on what I've seen. But looking really good tonight. Granted, it's against not a very good Georgia team, but I mean
true,
he
true.
looks studly out there. He's the guy. He looks like, he's matching the hype tonight. Like he's got a shot. He's like the one hog that has a shot, a consistent shot. And he is a pure scorer out there. Looks really good. Everyone's kind of hitting on all cylinders tonight, though. It looks like Ricky Council had another highlight dunk.
Yep.
Jalen Graham's looked good. Of course, like I said, Jordan Walsh coming in second half, making an impact. This is a good looking team. They play like this, they're going to be a tough out for anybody.
So hopefully they can keep it up, man. But the Hogs, man, they're kind of a mixed bag. You never really know what you're walking into.
There's
But
no kind of. They're wildly inconsistent. You don't know if you're going to get Jekyll or Hyde with these guys. I mean, was it the it was the A&M game? Was that what game was that? Was that Saturday? No, that
yes,
was Florida. No, that was Florida because they look good against Florida. Of course, Florida doesn't have their best player, but still they look good against Florida. I believe
so
that was the Wednesday,
Wednesday,
yeah,
yeah,
Tuesday or Wednesday game.
we did
They
our
hung.
usual. Yeah, let them come back and get in it.
Well, I mean, it was pretty close the whole way. It's just as they said, like I mean, Nick Smith did not look like this that night. Um, Now, granted, Muss has done the right thing there. He's put him in the starting lineup. Basically said we got to get this guy going. We got to do what we can to get this guy going. So he's put him in the starting lineup rather than coming off the bench. Good move, and I mean, it's working. It's working like a charm so far. But as the announcers put it, when Devo Davis, they didn't say this, but they're Devo Davis is the best shooter they have on the floor. I was like, yeah, we're in trouble. As much as I as much as I like Devo, if that's your best shooter on the floor, you're in trouble. You're going to be offensively challenged, as Muss has said himself plenty of times this season. There's Ronnie Brewer Jr. Quick little shout out there, camera love there for him. Pretty good player in our day.
Yeah, yeah. Do we look that old?
Yes.
Yes, yeah, we do.
I
Cool.
mean, he looks good for his age. I mean,
Yes, we say he's younger than us, right?
I mean, he's our age. Yeah, I think he's class of 2003.
Yep.
Fayetteville High, right? I believe. Yeah, no, he's our age. But he was real skinny, in college. He was a real thin guy, so he's
Weren't we
filled out a
all?
little bit. Yeah, right. True that.
Yeah.
But yeah, you don't always know what you're going to get with the Hogs, but they've looked good these last two games. They didn't look like a tournament team against A&M, at least in the last 3.5 minutes, where they didn't score. I don't know if they scored at all. I think they did, but
It's pretty tough to watch.
yeah. And when Devo's your best shooter on the floor, you're going to be in trouble. Again, I like him as a player, but not as your best shooter on the floor. Not at all. But yeah, looking good tonight. Um, you heard this about Alabama, their superstar freshman being linked to that
Yeah,
murder?
yeah.
But did he do
Supplied the gun.
what kind of trouble can you get into for that though? I mean, because he gave the gun to the teammate who then like gave the gun to the guy that ended up killing the young lady, right?
Yes.
If I understand that correctly. Yeah, I don't know what kind of trouble you get in for that. I'm sure it's not a situation you want to be in, but I don't know the gun laws to that degree. But that if he misses any time, yeah, that's a huge loss for Alabama. But
Just thinking of the tweet that I read earlier. It's NBA scouts are pretty excited at his ability to give teammates shots.
wow,
Yeah, it's pretty bad, but yeah, it's funny.
yeah. So that's a I don't know if that's a too soon thing or not. But
Probably.
yeah. I mean, so yeah, a young lady died just over a
Oh yeah, because
an
she wouldn't
altercation.
talk to him. Yeah, stupid.
Yeah, it's a wild world we're living in now. But it's that's not good news for obviously him, but also the in turn the Alabama basketball team. But yeah, Tennessee lost. What have they lost? Like three of their last four. They beat Alabama. They beat Alabama, and they then lose tonight. To A&M. SEC is pretty. It's pretty loaded though. I mean, you got your bottom tier teams. You got your Ole Misses and your Georgias, and even Georgia's gotten better. But everybody else can beat anyone. Any given night.
I was surprised to see them at 6-8 in conference. So Georgia, that is.
Are they really? Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
they've gotten some key wins. I can't remember off the top of my head what some of those were. They beaten Florida. I know that. I believe anyway.
I can see that.
UCA beat Vanderbilt in
Vandy in
baseball.
baseball, yeah.
Yeah, shout out
How
shout out
about
to the
that?
shout out to the Bears, man.
Beat number 10 in the country.
Yeah, huge shout out to UCA, Conway, Arkansas. That's what's up. And meanwhile, Hogs squeaked by Grambling
Yep.
9-7. Baseball's a funny game though, man. You're gonna sometimes lose some that you're not gonna win them all in baseball. It's a very, very difficult thing to do. I like what I'm seeing from this hog group though tonight.
Did you follow any of the tournament over the weekend that the Hogs were in with like Texas, TCU, Missouri, I think Oklahoma State?
Just saw the final scores. It was just blowouts. So
Yep.
nothing but blowouts. No. First night was a close game, right?
It was like
Against Texas,
5-3 or yeah, 7-5, something like that.
and then they get routed by TCU, and then they smoke Oklahoma State.
Yep. And Oklahoma State comes back today and throws a combined no hitter.
Yeah, that's against who though?
I don't know, it doesn't matter. It's
Somebody.
still a no
Yeah,
hitter.
yeah, it does matter. Um, matter if it's against Arkansas or Grambling, although not going to do that against Grambling. Apparently, hanging in there with the Hogs. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's baseball season is here. College baseball, anyway. NBA All Star break. How much of that did you see? NBA All Star weekend.
maybe maybe 5 minutes of it. I
Of
turned
what
on the All-Star game and yeah, it was just,
of the
oh,
game?
okay, nobody's playing defense. Okay, cool. And then lost its appeal and then I turned it off.
I did the exact same thing. I tuned in. Of course, they had it. It was this long introduction, um, a little too long for my taste. But then they get the game underway, and then it's just yeah, absolutely no defense at all. Like absolutely none. Like they showed like the '98 All Star game clips of it compared to it, and they were guys were at least one on oneing each other, challenging each other. There was a lot of Michael and Kobe,
Yeah.
which
I think
you
I've
know,
seen the only defensive play in the game in the 5 minutes that I watched. LeBron went up for and swatted. He got a block. That was like the only defensive play I seen.
yeah,
And apparently he hurt his hand and was set out the rest of the game.
I did see enough of it to look at LeBron and say, "Wow, that guy's he's my age and he's out there playing like that. It's unbelievable." Uh, yeah, 38 years old, all time NBA's leading scorer, can still play like that. Amazing stuff. Uh, where did Westbrook? He's signing with the Clippers, right?
Signed him with the Clippers.
Yeah, that's
Uh,
ooh.
Pat Bev signed with the Bulls. So
Yeah, he's going home. So good for him.
yeah, there's a little bit of good news for the Bulls, and then they got a dose of really bad news. I guess Lonzo Ball's out for the season.
Yeah,
So
he's been out for a while though. They're just they're just officially ruling him out for the rest of the season.
in the story, like the doctors don't even like they don't see any reason why he can't do like can't play basketball. They're like dumbfounded too. Like
I have
just
no
don't know.
idea. I've not followed the Bulls really. Just Zach Levine's been tearing it up. That's the extent of what I really know about the Bulls. I, they made gosh Ricky Council again, just from Nick Smith. So that's pretty cool to see.
I did see highlights of the duck contest. That looked like it improved this year.
Dramatically apparently. I did not. Okay, I was in Texarkana for last year's All Star break. I was in my hotel and it was the night before a half marathon, so I'm just trying to watch something good before I go to bed. And the night ended on the worst dunk contest I've ever seen in my life. Like it was beyond terrible, like F minus. It was so bad I had no interest in tuning in Saturday night. Had zero interest. Like wasn't even gonna. I was like, I'm not gonna do this to myself. I'm gonna see what else is on. I don't even remember what I ended up watching, but it wasn't that. Um, and apparently we missed a show. And it
Yeah,
was all from Mac McClung, which you look at the guy, not necessarily because he's white, a little bit because he's white, but
a little bit.
if you saw that guy on the street, you would not think like he could do the stuff that he did. Like
Nope.
that was amazing. I mean, that was like all time great performance.
They said he didn't even pull out his best dunk. Like,
I think he said he wants to come back next year and do it. So I
well,
mean, that's
hell, he made like his whole career's worth just in that one contest.
he did.
So
He did. I mean, it's pretty cool. I mean, as I mean, Magic Johnson said he saved the dunk contest, and it's you can't
I
refute
agree.
that.
Yeah.
I had no interest in watching it. That's how bad last year's was, and I missed a show. I missed a show apparently. I mean, I of course watched, and I think he got them all on his first attempt, so that makes it even better because it does take the it does take the wind out of your sails and or the excitement when you go to when it takes you four times to do the dunk. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's like, okay, I know it's because
After the second time you miss it, yeah, I'm done with it.
yeah, it's like, okay, just go to the next one. Don't try again. They probably need to make that a rule. Like if you don't get it on the second one, maybe three, like tops. But even then, by three, I'm like over it. I'm like, go to the backup.
Like say if you miss two attempts in a row, you're forced to go to the free throw line and granny shoot.
I just don't know. I mean, I know that you want to like wow people, but if you can't do that consistently, at least half the time, don't attempt it. Don't attempt it on live television in front of whatever it is, hundreds of people there at the arena. So, I mean, it's not thousands, is it? I don't know.
I mean, it looked like there's plenty of people there live. So
Yeah, it's probably thousands. Ricky Council going down. Score update 62-38.
yeah,
So, I mean, this is all Arkansas here.
yeah, I
Uh,
remember like there's a day I would look forward to the All-Star games or the Pro Bowl, and it just haven't got that feeling in like the last 5 years, 6 years. It just I don't know, lost its lost its appeal, at least for me, anyways.
no, well, Pro Bowl for sure. I mean, Pro Bowl it's a kind of
Yeah,
a
Pro
joke.
Bowl's been a lot longer than 6 years.
Pro Bowl has been a joke for a while. The last I remember it being competitive was like living in Fayetteville, like being kind of fresh out of college. Just because I remember Adrian Peterson being in it and saying like I'm because they had like a party a couple like that Friday or something. Uh, some people were asking if he wanted a drink. He was like, "No, I'm here to win the MVP." Like I mean, there was a pride about the players, and we've just not seen that. Now it's
Now they're
a
out there playing flag football.
well, and even in basketball, I mean, it's
Yeah,
just let's highlight it because the basketball one's always been my favorite because there's just there was some defense like they would play and then like sure some of it was highlights but a lot of it too it was like they get competitive toward the end and it's I mean it's got to be a pride about you like I mean it's the best against the best guys challenging each other like when Magic Johnson came back in whatever year it was 92 was it the 92 All-Star break
sure.
where he won MVP and was I mean just lit it up was on fire out there and everybody was challenging him Jordan was challenging him um Isaiah like I mean everybody was like taking their shot at Magic and he was doing it back because it was his game back so it was a big deal and the MLB All-Star game those were always fun even when there wasn't such high stakes
Yeah.
those were always fun.
Yeah, at least that one counts for something, right?
It does now. I don't think it should.
No.
I think that's dumb. Let's completely because the American leagues it seems they win it every year. I mean it's a rarity when the National League wins it, and then you have like the Dodgers who are far and away record wise at least but the best team a season ago, and then all of a sudden whoever in the AL is gonna like Houston's gonna get home field advantage. It's not very, it's not fair. Of course, it didn't affect the Dodgers in the end, but it's silly to me. If you want to incentivize it, I mean, come up with a little. I mean, I'd say come up with something else. But
So, how much of the XFL did you watch over the weekend? I know
I
you
was get
tuned in.
that was going to be my next thing. I watched a little bit. I didn't watch as much as I wanted to. I just had too much to do Sunday. That was
What'd you think about the kickoff?
I don't remember. I didn't see the kickoff. What happened with the kickoff?
So the kickoff, they kick off from the normal spot, but the receiving team is down at like the 30-yard line, and everybody but the kicker on the opposing team is 5 yards apart. and then they have a receiver like on the 10. And as soon as he catches the ball, that's whenever it goes live for, people to go block others. So I liked it, man. I thought it was pretty cool.
But see, they did that before when they originally came back, like for the before COVID. They did that.
Did
Um,
they? I thought it was
yes,
like a punt or something that they did.
no, it was the exact same thing. And as
I,
far as I
I liked
remember,
it.
oh, I loved it. I thought it was smart. Like NFL's,
NFL voted it down though.
well, see, yeah, I mean the NFL is wanting to get rid of concussions, and you're not going to get more concussions than the way they do kickoffs.
Yeah,
So
I'm all in for that because hell, what 90% of kickoffs are touchbacks in the NFL? Like, you might as well just start them on the 20. So here you go.
yeah, they're 25 now.
Yeah,
But
25.
yeah, it's I did really like that kickoff. Um, the other thing though, rather than you can either what is it,
The
onside
onside
kick
kick,
it
yeah.
do 4th and 15
No,
from
you
your
can
own
onside
whatever.
kick it. That is the way you onside kick it is
Okay,
you
you
do
go
a
for
fourth
it.
and 25,
No, it's
I
fourth and
think.
15. Fourth
Oh,
and 15, but you're on like your 25. You're on
yep.
your own 20 or 25, something like that. And it worked. It worked. It was pretty cool. I mean, you've got to make it different. You have to make it different from the NFL, and you have to think
Mm,
and you have to look at it from the perspective of what do we not like about the NFL? Because we love the NFL, but some things could change. Like what would we change if we could? And that's what they've done, but also just spicing it up a little bit too. Because onside kicks are a very low percentage,
yeah.
and low percentage, and you're not going to there's not much excitement because it's like low percentage play. 4th and 15, this is getting interesting. Like you put the offense back out there. I mean,
What
because
do you
they're
think about the no extra points? Let's get the 1 point play from the 2 yard line, 2 point play from the 5, and 3 point play from I don't think it's the 10. It might be the 10, but yeah.
it's wild. I like it though because again, the extra points were a given for so long in the NFL, and then they moved it back so it wasn't just a gimme anymore, and that ended up being the smart thing to do.
Yeah.
But no extra points. I didn't even realize that was what they were doing. I didn't catch enough at the games to see that. But yeah, I do like all these like on paper. Like as you're describing them, I remember the kickoff. I remember that the first time around. I really liked it then. I was like, that's smart. That's a good change. And yeah, the NFL probably struck it down just because it wasn't their idea.
Yeah.
Because they had to all, at least some of them had to be saying like, yeah,
You
that's
you,
better.
you take away kickoff and kickoff return, that's half our special teams. We got to fire a coach.
I mean, that's true, right? That's a pretty good point, actually. I didn't think about that, but it is better though.
Yeah.
Nick Smith, a three from the corner, puts Arkansas up 66-42. I wonder how many he's got tonight. 10 minutes left to play in the second half.
He's
He's
got to have
looking.
at least 5 threes, right?
I don't know, but he's lighting it up. When I turned the game on, he had 10 points. Or well, I had already had the game on, but when the game switched over to this one from the Missouri Mississippi State overtime game, that was a really good game.
Yeah. Yeah. Of course, the game before the Arkansas game goes into extra time or it's just running over. Seemed to be the theme of the last month.
I love Anthony Black. He's been by far and away our best player all year, but he cannot throw the lob. He's not he threw one lob I think to Council that was good, but he don't have that touch. It's too line drive. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's something he needs to work on in practice, not so much in a game.
almost
In a
like
game,
Graham's turnaround shot. It's a little bit of a line drive.
yeah. Well, do you like his floater from the free throw line? Did you see that?
No, I guess I
Guessing
didn't.
not. Guessing not. But it was like, yeah, he was did like a floater from the free throw line. I was like, come on, man.
Oh, you talking about the flat floater? He's kind of like shoved it, shoved towards the basket.
Oh yeah, just the one handed. Wasn't much of a floater, but I mean, that's what it was supposed to be.
Yeah, I've seen it because it bricked, right?
Of course. But yeah, Hogs up 25 with 10 to play. Georgia got lucky had a ball bounce their way on a rebound there. So guess one thing can go their way tonight. Yeah, I was about to say I'd be surprised if they didn't call that. In other news, Peyton Hillis expects to make a full recovery after a lengthy hospital stay. He was in the hospital for a while.
For a while, yeah.
So that's good to hear. That's a very Razorback heavy show tonight. Wasn't necessarily expecting that. Of course, I mean, with football gone, what else are we going to talk about really? Because especially when the All-Star break there wasn't much to talk about there. All-Star game. Oh, that's apart from the dunk contest. No disrespect to Mac McClung there, slam dunk champion. But yeah, I mean, good news for Peyton Hillis.
So I'm pretty sure I've seen this correctly, but during the XFL commercial break, there's an advertisement for the USFL. Like, so we've got pretty much two minor league NFL or two minor league football teams.
When are they starting though? Isn't it like
Uh,
April or
it's in
something?
April, yeah.
Okay.
I guess it's normal rules. So they'll have normal kickoff and normal extra points. But
I guess that's smart of them to not try to compete with each other. Just like, hey, two startups essentially. Let's try to space this out a little bit. But
yeah,
I mean, that's smart. You got football now. I don't know how long the XFL season is, but then
it's only like 8 teams. It can't last that long, right?
right. But also, we didn't get to see the first one play out because of COVID. But I wasn't like the best. I think the best team then had that guy that ended up being like Carolina's quarterback for a few games this season. I can't remember his name, but they were by far and away the best team from the games I saw.
Yeah, I think Josh Gordon got him a touchdown grab this weekend in the XFL.
And I saw AJ McCarron was one of the quarterbacks. He was the
Yeah.
one that converted like the 4th and 15 and stuff. I mean, there are only 32 jobs in the NFL, so I mean, there's plenty of guys that can play. There's plenty of guys that can still play football. So I mean, if these leagues can sustain, which history has shown they can't, but if they make it work, it'll be yeah, be good for everybody. Good for them. Good for the football junkies like myself.
Arena football is still a thing, right?
I mean, and yeah, but it's none of it's televised or anything that I know of. I don't, and I haven't been to an arena football game since
Ever.
like no, I did. Yeah, I guess I haven't seen it on TV though. But
Man, what was the Arkansas team? Was it the Twisters or was that the hockey team?
no, I think you're right. I think I did
Oh
go to
no,
one
yeah,
of
because
those
yeah,
games.
the hockey teams were the River Blades and the Glacier Cats. It's like,
Well, there was the Glacier Cats and then the River Blades. Because the Glacier Cats played at like Barton Coliseum. But yeah, the River Blades
it's
played
pretty
it.
fun games to go to. Hockey games are pretty fun live.
I enjoyed the River Blades games. Those were fun, especially when there were fights and stuff.
Yeah.
It was entertaining then. Yeah, and then they had like I remember they had like the Hooters calendar girls there for one of the games. So I was like, yeah, I'll take a calendar, sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Bucket by Anthony Black. I almost said Blackett, I don't know.
Not almost. You did say
I did. I had my jacket over there and that somehow found its way into my brain.
it.
Wow.
Mm,
Yeah, everybody looking good tonight for the Hogs. It's always fun. It's always more fun to watch when they're winning. Of course, as mentioned, you don't always know what you're going to get with them. Kansas State beating Baylor tonight. A little bit of an upset, but the Big 12 is pretty stacked. I mean, the one game Alabama got routed was against Oklahoma, right? And they're like a middle of the pack Big 12 team.
is that who? Is that who got them? Oklahoma?
Yeah, routed them in the Big 12 challenge. I mean, just they beat them by like 20. I remember turning on the TV and just thinking, what, really? Like, what happened here? It reminded me of like Varsity Blues when Mox gets everybody drunk at the strip club and they just completely blow it that game, that next day against the team they should beat or that isn't very good. Kind of reminded me of that. I was like, who's the
I don't
Mox
want
on this
your
team?
life.
That's pretty good. That's a pretty good Mox impression. That came on like
It's been a
AMC.
minute since I've seen that. I need to rewatch that.
That came on AMC like a month or two ago. And I want to say a couple of months ago. And it was during a weeknight. And I remember being like, there's nothing else on. I'll watch a little bit of this until I go to bed. And then I just like I couldn't
Stay up
turn it
late and
off.
finished it. Yep.
I didn't finish it, but I stayed up later, way later than I should have, just watching it. Um, just more so just a nostalgia kind of thing
Yeah.
rather than, I mean, it's a decent storyline, but it's, yeah, like I said, mostly just a nostalgia thing for a football movie. I mean, it's a good movie. I don't know
Would
what
you
I
like
would,
better, that or Friday Night Lights?
Friday Night Lights was good, man. It was good.
No.
um, it depends on what I'm trying. What am I in a mood for? Obviously, do I want to like laugh or because Friday Night Lights is more serious.
Yeah.
Of course, it's based on a book. Varsity Blues is probably something like you and I would sit down and write the script for.
True.
Friday Night Lights is it's a real deal kind of thing. But oh gosh, I was actually think somebody had tweeted like, what's the best football movie, and they named like five of them. The Program was on there. I never saw the Program, but I've heard good things about it.
How
Uh,
old's that one?
about as older than those two. Any Given Sunday was on there. I didn't care much for Any
I
Given
didn't care
Sunday.
too much for it. It was,
N-
yeah, not believable.
didn't
Uh,
understand why that was on the list. But yeah, like Varsity Blues, Friday Night Lights, good ones.
Remember the
I was
Titans?
gonna say, what am I skipping? Like, yeah, Remember the Titans, obviously a great movie. Yeah, Denzel Washington's a pretty boss head coach. Did you ever see the TV show Friday Night Lights though?
No, I did not. I know what you're talking about. I've seen plenty of commercials for it, but yeah, I never watched it.
I watched the whole thing when it was on Netflix. Like just
So it
watch
was
watch.
good.
It was pretty solid. I was like, and of course this is when Arkansas is going through Arkansas football is going through their struggle. So I at least got to enjoy a little bit of Coach Eric Taylor on the show. Obviously, you know, getting big wins and stuff, living a little bit vicariously through that or viewing it. But it was because I certainly wasn't getting the joy from watching Razorback football at the time. It's a good show, solid show. Um, Tim Riggins, shout out to Tim Riggins, fullback character on the show, which you don't see the fullback in today's game. So, a fullback makes for a great television character. Tough guy, probably troubled. It's gonna be a great television character.
Oh man.
Doesn't make the greatest personal life decisions. Good TV, man. You got to have that's reason enough to. So if we ever write a football movie or show or something, we got to have a fullback just for that, which you don't see a lot of now.
Nope. Nope.
Yeah,
Can
Nick
be
Smith,
loosely based off of Peyton Hillis.
well, he was a good one. I mean, he was, of course, he lit it up freshman year. I was like, oh, this guy's going to be a big deal. And then, of course, D-Mac and Felix Jones come, and he took a back seat to them. But man, talk about a three-headed backfield, man. Of course,
Yeah.
Peyton Hillis was hurt for literally every time I saw him during his upperclassman years, he was limping. Like I'd see him on campus. I mean, he was limping. He limped everywhere he went. The guy just stayed hurt, and then goes to the
Huge
NFL.
dude, man.
Oh yeah, big dude. Fast too when he was actually healthy.
Yeah.
But then he goes to the NFL and has that one great season, like what, a 1,600-yard season.
Yeah.
Ends up on Madden. Nick Smith again for 3. Anyway, glad
Quit
Peyton Hillis is
ruining this
better.
for me, man.
Yeah, glad
Like
Peyton
5
Hillis is
seconds ahead.
better. Yeah, 82-51 Hogs. Just under 5 left to play.
Shit, you might be 10 seconds ahead, man. He just nailed that 3.
I was quite a bit ahead last time. Ricky count. Okay, I'll quit ruining it. It's just a look. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. He's on fire.
It's a
Okay.
good play, huh?
Welcome back, Nick Smith Jr. Welcome back.
Dang. He's just, how many is that, man?
That's a lot. I want to know what he's got tonight. Maybe you Hog fan haters will shut the hell up now.
Hmm.
But yeah, I love having this guy on our team. This guy right here, yeah, if he can keep this up, wow.
Hmm.
Be exciting to see what's in store for the Hogs as they close the regular season. But until then, we're going to get out of here. We're out of time. So until next week, y'all. It's your host, Graham Powell, co-host.
Oh, Bradley Brown.
All right. Deuces, y'all.
Peace.